Hi, everybody, and welcome to the final vlog of the Wizarding World Tabletop campaign. We are here with our players, plus Kevin. Why is Kevin here? I don't know, but
We're gonna
he's
play
hanging out
Cats
with
with
us.
Strahd after.
Where do you guys want to start?
I want to start with the curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with those?
What were the curtains?
What did the prophecy say? What did Shiro's prophecy say?
I forgot.
When the four reach the end of their game and the curtain is about to be pulled, the fate of magic will come full circle. The fate of magic will come full circle.
And we decided the fate of magic at the fall of the last curtain.
It's so
that's
poetic.
quite nice. That's quite nice.
That's it. Take everybody a few more days. All right. I just want to say that after watching Mass Effect's finale, this was best case scenario, guys.
It really was. I have no doubt. Like, we could have lost way more NPCs. I'm sure it was very possible for people to die, but we just rolled really well.
The plan, I think, was also really good too, because like we would have just came in with just ourselves. That could have been completely different. It was just us 12 or whatever we have. That would have been way worse. But we had people to kind of distract from other things and do other things while we could focus more on one thing at a time. And then the tanks were unbelievable. I want to personally apologize to Jordan on camera and say that the tank idea was awesome.
Yes. I just want to point out that I'm always right.
Your plan was very well thought out and it was very sound. And so if you were wondering, hey, that was actually relatively easy or smooth, it's because you had a really good plan. And I had a meeting with Kevin last night because we were trying to figure out like what Fenrir Greyback was doing, because the key thing is to get rid of his invulnerability, because like no matter how much you had,
which wasn't. I was just gonna say, and with being able to control his, because being able to control his mind, it's not super hard. It just, that's the thing with like us being wizards and stuff, is we all had different utilities that made things way easier for us.
Right. And so I think a huge part was utilizing combining super speed with the astral projection was a crazy good combo. Crazy, because it put Rodney at very little risk because it was just his astral projection form appearing, and just the fact that he could move really fast. Like Fenrir, even with his precognition, couldn't see that coming. The other thing I also wanted to mention is the reason why Juan survived the mass killing curse, because it is the most powerful, like, offensive spell at least, is because of a combination of Alec being a curse breaker and the cancer hoop. Used by someone who did not have magic but had the Cancer zodiac sign. It was the combination of both. Because I think if it wasn't for Toby coming in at the tail end of that, Juan would have eventually died.
Yeah.
So that was the same thing that you said for Aika. So yeah, that makes sense.
So basically, Alec was able to slow it down so that the Cancer hoop can go in and do its thing and stop his death from the mass killing curse. So that is why that happened.
It's just it's tough to put into words that this is our final episode, and like most of it was combat, so it wasn't like we had a lot of RP. But I did really enjoy the RP with Al and his sister. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, I thought that was very good.
Along with our Juan's RP with himself, with his drunk was really good. Yeah, I thought that was also really well done.
Thank you.
Magnifique.
I don't know if we're all just shocked or stunned.
I'm just baffled by how well that went.
Yeah.
I'm baffled. It almost makes me wish. Almost makes me wish that we went with the plan so that something bad would have happened. So at least something bad would happen.
Yeah, because I feel like everything went
It was
Like, even
perfect.
Okay, after the battle, I was like, okay, now comes the decision. It's gonna be something big. And then when they said like the magic kick, I was like, we already thought of that, and it's super easy. It's a super easy choice. Yeah, let's get back to everyone. Let's go.
That's like, this is not the Hark ending I'm used to. Okay, I'm used
that's the
to,
twist. The twist
to
is that
billions of death.
we were all paranoid the whole time.
Yeah,
But
and
to
it's
be
just
fair,
like,
though, is I will argue that the beginning of our Act 2 was tougher than in most of other people's campaign finales.
oh yes,
Like, our Act 2 beginning was tough. Like, it could have been a finale. Like, just that Act 2 beginning could have been a finale to a campaign.
yeah,
And
Kevin,
we
what
had to
happened?
slug along.
Yeah, Kevin, what happened to you? Hugh left. Big whoop. We lost 3 characters in one.
You laughed, big whoop.
Big
Found
whoop.
again.
You found him again.
Yeah. So,
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
You lost 3 characters that you kind of talked to. All right, get out of here.
Get
I didn't talk to you. I died.
Yeah, Levi died.
I think having a more relaxed finale is nice because we did take it so rough in the beginning of Act 2. Act 2's beginning was, especially for me, very rough and hard, and it took me a minute to comprehend like all the bad stuff that was happening.
I would like to say just that it wasn't going to be as easy, but it's just like kind of like what you guys were touching on. Like you guys kind of like made like in the heat of the moment decisions that were the right decisions.
Correct.
And it made the thing easier. Like if you left Fenrir in that lower level map, it would have been infinitely harder. Because you couldn't have just mind controlled one of them. You would have had to pick out which one was right. And there was like 8 of them. And Fenrir was like stacked all the hell. So you would have had like very limited chances to pick the right Fenrir. So the fact that you pulled him out of that, like that heat in the moment decision automatically made this that much easier for you.
Yeah.
So like it was set up to be extremely hard on you guys.
Right.
But you guys just made the correct decisions in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly fine. It's fine. I enjoy that finally something went right for us guys without a bunch of fighting, arguing, a bunch of mishaps. Like
it
finally
went
right.
Kevin knows because we talked about like this whole session, like the battle plan, and on paper, this was not meant to be very easy at all. It was meant to actually be pretty challenging, pretty hard, even despite the tanks. But you guys found a way around it, because my original intention was for all of you guys to eventually make it to the port key and end up in that chamber and had to fight a bunch of Fenrirs. But Rodney, man, like you asked him to do some really crazy stuff and it paid off. So
yeah, when we were testing this, I was like,
fate.
That was like,
Finn wouldn't have went down. Al may not have given Rodney.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we had Rodney test out if he could go fast and astral project at the same time, when we found out that could happen, I was like, oh, that's GG right there.
Goodbye, Greyback.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like, it was just so perfect. It went so flawless.
All right, Greyback. I've been waiting all season to do this.
Yes!
Yeah.
Get that. We finally got him.
We finally got it.
Yeah.
10 points goes to Levi.
Yeah.
See you later. I've been waiting all season to do that.
Oh.
We finally killed the motherfucker.
Finally got that boy.
Oh.
It's so funny too because I know that the Terminators were like super hard, but god damn, is the mass killing course powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess now that it's all over, Hard. What would have happened if he crit failed? We were worried. Like, does it just kill him? Does it kill around him?
The mass killing curse.
Yeah. What happens if he crit failed?
Oh yeah, you would have killed like people in your vicinity, basically, possibly even yourself. possibly. So he would have killed a whole bunch of people that you didn't intend to kill.
Yeah, thank God you didn't kill that.
That would have been.
That would have been.
That would definitely would have made you feel differently about this battle if that happened.
Yeah, definitely. But it didn't. So masculine curse for the win.
Yeah.
I killed everything that standed in my sight. Like,
what did we learn, boys and girls? Violence fixes all your problems.
What did we learn, boys and girls? Roxana made the wrong decision.
Of course
Always
she did.
keep the nuke. Always keep the nuke.
It's gonna
Never
blow
give
up in
away
Juan's
the
face if he
strong.
keeps using it. It's just a matter of time.
Eventually,
It's a matter of time. before you
Juan
do it.
his
is
soul
going to hell.
shatter, or it's gonna backfire on him, and he's gonna kill everybody.
His soul is already shattered. The thing, like Avada Kedavra curses, it breaks your soul. Now Avada Kedavra Maximus makes me infertile. Like, I used it like 4 or 5 times in one day. What the fuck's gonna happen to me now? That's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting.
just
Yeah.
imagine how many. Just imagine how many times they used it during the war. That's what, like, looking at this and seeing how many times you used it in a battle. I'm like, how many times would they have like used it in one day during the war? And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think he was focusing it more, but
Yeah,
I think Park says it
feel
can
like-
kill thousands of people if you just shoot in a random direction. If you're just like over there, it could kill like a whole building full of people. So, but the way he was focusing it more on three targets at a time.
Because I was trying to. Well, I imagine that because one, they are more powerful. They're not just touch you, you're dead. They're like metal stuff. So I'm guessing I have to put more power into killing them. And because if something goes wrong, one of the rays can hit someone I don't want them to hit. So I'm guessing Juan was being more point focus into who got hit by it. Oh my god. This feels so satisfying. Everything went perfect. Nothing went wrong.
Yeah,
I just want to
This-
say I've been stressing all week. Last night I pulled everyone into a call. I was like, guys, like I need some refocusing here. Like, and I mean, I talked to Hark when we started. I was like, I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm feeling at a loss. And I just want to say, it ended so much better than I could have thought. And I think I was talking to my roommate because we've been playing a ton of campaigns lately. Like, I've been playing with these guys, D&D, Pokemon, this. And I think what's different is like this mattered so much more because it's a project we've all been working on for so long together. And like, I think I just didn't want it to end poorly. Not that I was like thinking, oh, it's going to just be bad, but I was just worried. And I wanted to be able to do everything I could to help wrap that up. And I'm relieved. I'm happy. Thank you, Hark, for what you did include in this session. Cause I feel like you purposely like appeased some of my worries. So I appreciate that.
And I know you came in wondering if Albion was going to contribute much during the battle, and I think he did a lot.
Yeah, he
I
did.
think he contributed a lot.
yeah.
I think you
It
were
was
key
kind of-
in many places.
I remember making a joke to these guys that were like, I was like, we're going to put Albion up in Air Force One and he's going to command the battle, which kind of is what happened. Like, everyone was referring to Albion, like, what do we do? Like, it was kind of cool seeing him take on a bit more.
I mean,
leadership
and if
role.
you think about it, he 100% saved Finn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
if
100%.
Finn went to the gray back den, anything could happen. You could have went down there and Finn would have been gone. Like, so you saved Finn's
I was
life,
worried.
and with no
It's like
magic
crit
was
failed.
able to save Finn. Yeah,
But I was
that
worried
only
Hark was going to say, oh, your body went in as well because you crit failed. I was like, if this bracelet is my last chance to get Finn out of here, because I knew it was just he was dead if I didn't get him out.
Yeah.
So I was happy that my body was still out there.
Yep. It was smart. Very smart.
Yeah, that was another instance where I feel like, an NPC could have died, but we did something smart to save them. So it's so weird, guys. We started this a year ago. We were playing friendly kid Zodiac games, and then Kevin's crew came in and ruined our lives.
Speaking of Kevin, I did wonder how long it would take for you guys to discover Bill. But
30 seconds.
30 seconds to get Bill. So that was the other piece. Is I was hoping that Bill would have had you going for a while, because that would have been an advantage for Fenrir. But since you found him out so soon, that's probably another reason why the battle ended up being a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm sorry. With mind magic, it's tough. Because AJ was like, do you want us to do is it okay if we do mind magic? The second he was like, I'm really not for mind magic. My dad was. I was like, mind magic right there. I don't even care. Let's figure this out. I don't know you. I don't care.
If you did that to the real Michael, he would fucking kill you.
Yes. Yes.
That's like instant, like pull out gun and fire.
Well, thank God you weren't the real Michael.
Did anyone suspect Bill before Luke dove into his mind?
Not at all.
Not one bit.
Not Bill,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
No.
Or Michael. Michael. Yeah.
I loved that.
I wasn't sure if Kevin's character was good, but I didn't suspect Bill.
Yeah,
I didn't suspect Thaddeus.
Yeah.
That was crazy. It was fucking insane. It was Skip Kid the whole time.
You've been
Didn't one of us on call say, like, what if it's Thaddeus?
Yeah, we said it as a joke. We were like, because it couldn't possibly be Thaddeus. And then it turned out and we were all like, what?
I feel like I said it, but I don't want to take credit if I didn't.
No, I think it was you, AJ. I'm almost 100% sure as a joke, because we were trying to figure out who has British accents.
Oh, it was.
We're like, we were like, it's got to be Hunter and like Al's dad. It's got to be them two. And there's two people backing up Greyback. It's got to be them. And AJ was like, it's Thaddeus, like as a joke, and he was 100% right.
Yeah. Because we were like, that boy was so sweet. There's no way.
I just didn't think he had that big of a role. I was like,
Joe's gonna be so heartbroken.
Yes. He thought he helped these kids. He thought he got through to them. But...
And then his grandson killed one of them.
His grandson would have killed all of them. The opportunity.
A lot can happen in 20 years, and after maybe like Brandon said, maybe Levi asked Thaddeus to clean his room one too many times, and Thaddeus just snapped and thought, one of these days.
We all thought it was actually Thaddeus that cast the killing curse on Levi all those years ago.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have magic. He can't cast that.
I was gonna say, with what magic?
It was fun. I loved this. And this is the first campaign I've ever finished. I don't know anybody else who has been in a million D&D sessions, and then like by like the sixth one, everybody just kind of disbands. This is the first campaign I finished all the way through, and I had so much fun.
Yeah. This is also the first one I've finished as well, because all my other games are ongoing, because I only started playing D&D about 3 years ago.
Arcs was my first as well.
Yeah, this is also my first to finish.
Hawk was our first.
You're everyone's first.
Lots of RPG.
Apparently.
I was gonna say I've played a million campaigns. I've just only finished one. So.
Yeah. Most of them have been canceled by me.
I'm very happy to hear that, because many people throughout the years have told me the exact same thing. Like, even starting from the original Dragon Age, Ray was talking about how that was his first campaign he ever finished. So happy to hear that.
It's nice to have closure and to see what happens. And are we going to talk about epilogues on the vlog, or is that something to add?
Yeah. So the way the epilogues work, is I'm going to ask everyone to write me up. Try not to make it crazy long, but just type up what you think your character will do in the future few months later. Especially considering that it seems like you're offering magic to everyone worldwide. So just give me a rough vision of what you see is going on with your character within the next few months. Feel free to mention the NPCs and what you might be doing with some of the NPCs. I'm very curious, for example, to hear what Juan ultimately decides to do about Ximena. That might be an obvious thing. And then I will try to gather everybody's responses and incorporate them into a cohesive epilogue. If things contradict or I feel like something doesn't quite work, I'll let you know. But for the most part, I try to work with everybody's responses. Does that make sense? And then once I have all of the epilogue written up, then we will meet one more time to read the epilogue. And I will also say, if we have time, I may allow for some last-minute RP. Like, if you wanted to roleplay with specific characters, like, a few months later,
yes,
then we can do that.
A session 0, part 2.
So prior to the do we know the outcome before we write this epilogue? Like, I guess I'm a little unclear on that. Like, of our final choice, do we know?
Do we just assume everybody's getting that?
Because that could affect us.
I think you're going to assume that a vast majority of Muggles are going to want magic. Some will choose not, but I think a vast majority will.
So only Michael will not have magic.
Michael's like, yeah, I'm good.
It ruins the whole nickname. Michael the Muggle has to stay Michael the Muggle.
No, now you be Magic Mike.
Michael the Muggle still wants to be able to use the Taurus hoop at full potential.
Yeah.
See, because if you have, because everybody has magic, then they can't use the hoops to their full potential unless they have the Ophiuchus.
I
want to say.
Don't give me any hoops. Don't give me.
I think maybe we should get that clear. After the thing is done, Juan will want to keep the Sagittarius and the Ophiuchus, because the Ophiuchus is like a family heirloom, supposedly. He wants to just give it to his mom. Keep it in the family.
Luke would keep his dad's hoop. I can't remember which one that is. The hoop that Rox gave him, because that does mean a lot to him. And then he will return Noria's hoop back to him after everything's done.
Okay. Yeah, the four of you, please tell me what happens to each of the hoops.
Okay, Al, what do you do with your hoop? Did you keep it?
I think I will keep it at this. Yeah, if he has his magic back and he feels like, he would definitely keep it.
Okay, what do you do with the rest? Like the Taurus one, that's the one I'm concerned.
I think we should give it to the Ministry of Magic. Just hope they can take care of them,
I think we should give them to different Ministries of Magic.
Yeah. One to each country, one to America.
One to each big, one to each big.
Yeah. Albion definitely agrees with that.
I personally think we should keep the time hoop, just in case any of the countries get fancy ideas with that one in particular, but they can have the other ones.
Who should keep it then?
Who's Taurus from our group? Who's Taurus?
That would be my husband.
And Michael.
So you keep it.
Yeah, thank you. It's mine now.
I say we just launch them all into space.
Space doesn't help. They went to space to get the hoops. Space doesn't help anything.
Honestly, as a player, I would be like, fucking destroy these things.
I have a question.
My
How the fuck did Fenrir Greyback get to Mass Effect?
I'm sorry?
How did Fenrir Greyback get to Mass Effect?
He used... So all of the Squib Kids each have a sign of the Zodiac. So he actually he was able to determine where the ring was, where Toby's ring was, because you guys were all at Juan's house. You weren't at Toby's house. So he actually broke into Toby's house, got the ring, used it to go into the library. And then by the time you got to Mass Effect, he had already been there 6 hours prior. So he got to the book 6 hours prior to Albion getting to the library himself and bringing the book back.
It makes sense now that we know that all his followers were the kids, the Squib Kids.
Were the Squib Kids, yes. Because you need non-magical people, one of each member of the Zodiac, to be able to unlock the ring.
And they were the ones there that did it for us the first time. So they
correct. So they knew about it. So they knew about the library.
Yep. That 100% makes sense.
I dropped a few hints throughout this.
We were talking about yesterday. We were like, how did he get there? That Greyback is a shifty fella.
Yeah, we were trying to think of it, and we were like, "There's no way. How could he possibly have?" And now it all makes sense.
But to be fair, we didn't know the kids were on his side until today.
The Squib Kids were. I was debating on whether or not to have the Squib Kids work with Fenrir pretty early on, and I was like, I bet you they wouldn't see this coming. I bet you they wouldn't see this coming. But in my head, I was like, it makes sense. It makes sense in my head. So the interesting thing is, I had to come up with something clever to do if Juan ended up not saving the kids during the battle at Lambeth, London.
I did wrong. I'm sorry. I should have let the kids die.
Yeah, you should have. And Joe.
But then Joe would have died. You saved Joe. So
yeah, but in exchange, I gave us a horrifying monster that hunted us and killed people.
How
did he get the Terminator?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So Austera was right. They actually were government experiments that they were planning on using for the war, for the Wizarding Mage War. And ended up not using them because there was still a lot of debate over they should do it or they shouldn't do it. And so they basically, like, after the war was over, they kind of kept them around just in case they might need them in their back pocket. And Fenrir Greyback knew about their existence somehow and was able to break them out and use them for his own personal, like, use.
Okay.
So.
Makes sense.
So is Hermione retiring?
Well, no, I don't think she retires normally in canon. So she's probably still... No, she's not retiring.
I was like, is that her packing up her office? Because, like, what were the curtains, I guess, is my question.
I think they were just curtains that were just representative of... for her, it was just, you know... The curtains just need to be replaced because they're old. But I'd also like to think that symbolically, they were taken down right when you guys were making the decision of what to do with the fate of magic, and therefore it's supposed to be a symbol of change and evolution by changing the curtains.
Okay.
So, but there's nothing beyond that. Anything else? All right.
I don't know. This is it, guys.
I'm gonna miss you all. This is.
Oh, Hark, don't say that. I'm gonna miss you so much. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I'm gonna miss everybody so much.
No, don't talk like that. It makes it sound like we're not gonna see each other.
No, I'm sure we will. It was just nice knowing every week or other week I'd get to see you guys and talk to you guys for a little bit. And now,
before we close. And before I let you guys go, because I have baby duty now. I was supposed to have Birdie an hour ago. But I want you guys to do me a favor and do one more thing. I would like for each of you to record. We're going to do this right now. Now that we are moving towards Dragon Age Season 3, when one door closes, another one opens. I want you guys to give your advice, now that you guys have gone through this campaign. What advice do you have to give to the Dragon Age Season 3 players who are about to start this new experience that you just went through yourselves?
Let your character be themselves. Like, at the beginning, I've said this a lot of times, but at the beginning, me and the other PCs had an idea of how our characters were and how they acted. Juan wasn't supposed to be this. Juan was supposed to be a chill guy that liked to make friends and talk, be super persuasive and charismatic. But I started playing him and he just didn't went that way. He went in a completely different route and made himself. You know, it's good to have a general idea of what you want to do, but you really should just let the character act and then just start forming them. I think Juan is a clear example of that. And I know that some people have like questionable decisions. Juan has made questionable decisions that I regret. Like I wouldn't have liked to attack the Orion cast. I wouldn't have liked to leave my daughter, but it's things that Juan does. You have to let your characters be themselves.
Great advice.
Who's next?
And Kevin, while I have you, I'll save you for last because I do want you to answer that question too. Because you, how many campaigns have you participated in with me? 3?
Yeah.
4 if you're about to count Dragon Age Season 3.
Yeah.
See, it's because Kevin never actually physically visits me, so I find all the opportunities I can to spend time with him since he never physically visits me. Like, what's your excuse now, Kevin? Some coronavirus thing? What's your
some global pandemic?
Some global pandemic? What's your confusion?
What's a
How
corona?
convenient?
How convenient.
Lame.
I bet you somehow caused this epidemic just to avoid. Somehow you did. All right. Who's going next?
Wow, look at the time.
Time to get a wine.
I can go.
Go.
All
right. So my advice for the Dragon Age Season 3 crew is, through this process, I've learned that I think what helped our group be so successful is that we trusted one another. And especially in this last episode, I found that, I had to really trust Hark's process. And I think that comes from us, at least in our group. That trust it came from a part that none of us were selfish. If something was best for the story, we took that hit as a character. And sometimes those hits are what makes it fun and makes it interesting. So trust one another, trust Hark, trust the process. Good luck.
So my advice for the Dragon Age Season 3 is to, I think it's obvious, one, just try to have fun with everything. Like, things aren't going to always go the way you thought it was or the way you want. You might die. Just have fun with it and just continue pushing forward and keep going. And like, to kind of piggyback off of what AJ said, help each other make a story. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people like, hey, like, this would be fun. And then we kind of set each other up for some scenes. We don't just, like, if you ever saw like, wow, that transitioned into a really good scene right there, it's probably because we talked about like, hey, my character kind of wants to talk about this. Don't be afraid to challenge each other. I think that's something a lot of people who start, they don't want to butt heads with their players. You got to know to just trust each other and like know that this is a game we're playing, that sometimes your guys' heads will butt. You can see that with Juan, Rox, Levi. Al didn't fight with anybody till the end. But you just know that you can trust each other to make a good story, and don't take that stuff that's in game out of game, and just know that you guys are making a story together for people to watch.
But my piece of advice would definitely be, don't be afraid to tackle those hard issues with your character. Don't ever think that any subject is off limits, because it's not. Because with Roxy, I've tackled some pretty crazy things that I didn't think I would tackle when doing this this campaign, like dealing with war and loss and having to watch the people you love go through terrible things and like miscarriage and all this crazy stuff like I haven't had to tackle before. And it's definitely been challenging, but I think it's really made the character something real. So don't be afraid to take on those real issues and to have them reflect in your character, or to have a character that's been hurt and traumatized, because that's real life. Real life things like this happen to people, and having your character be real makes them relatable and makes people invested and want to see them grow and want to see them accomplish their fears and get over these issues. So never ever think that you're not capable to do that. At the end of the day, if you handle things respectfully and like research things or ask people about things, you can never mess it up. Just handle it respectfully and you'll do a good job. And I think that's the best advice I can give.
Yeah, so
Bill?
You guys all made really good points, and I second all of them. But one thing that I would add on to all of that is hopping calls together, just you guys. Like I see that there's a lot of hangouts getting posted, which is amazing. I love that you guys are talking in the community. But really, I think, especially when the time draws near, just get in with just you guys and just, like play a couple games together, do some icebreakers, do whatever. Because if you guys go into it all as pre-established friends, like really close to each other, I think it shows very well on camera. That's one thing I noticed immediately with this group, is that as soon as they got on, they were like making jokes with each other, inside jokes, and like all of these other things, and it really like draws the audience and just makes the story that much better, because you guys are going into this all as kind of like close friends. And yeah, don't do blood magic, because
do blood magic.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Oh, thank you guys. And for those of you who are watching from the Dragon Age Season 3 campaign, yeah, get ready for the crossover with these guys, because they are pumped.
I'm ready for it.
Gonna get bonkers.
Get ready, guys. I'm about to kill Joel. And what?
All right. I love you all. Thank you again. We will meet one more time for this project, at least for the epilogue.
Thank you, Hark.
Thank you,
Thank
Hark.
you, guys.